Hey, you want to see a really great way to copy a file between two systems, even if those systems don't have SSH installed? Yeah, we found this. I mean, it was suggested, to be completely fair, ChatGPT suggested it because I was looking for an alternative to Basebin, and they said, just use netcat. So the answer is use netcat. And it's actually really cool. We actually had some contributions from people in the community who suggested that this is a way to, I'll get to that later. You got to wait to the end of the video. So anyway, so NC dash U, we'll talk about that later. It stands for UDP dash, and then L. This can be separate if you want, and then the port number 666 because we're going to be really mean and nefarious. This number is over, was it 1024? So I don't need root access, right? If I was anything under 1024, I don't know, say 53. Spoiler alert. Then you could do that. And then this says, hey, just copy all the outputs to slash to tempu. So to show you that it works, let's actually zero out tempu. Hey, did you know you can zero file out by just piping into it like that? Yeah, that's right. Or redirecting to it. So now let's we'll do our command again. It's gonna start up a listener. It's listening, and then over here this is not a Mac, by the way. This is my laptop, and then over here I'm on one of my Proxmox servers with my case controller, and I actually was like tinkering away on a script, and I have read-only get cloning happening. So, I wanted to be able to transfer between, and I could SCP it. I could, start up a SSH server, or I could run SCP from my laptop, and I could copy it over. But what if I didn't have SSH? It's just so much cooler to do netcat. So I went ahead and checked it out. So I have this installer script to install kubevip, which if you don't know what that is, watch another video. This is setting up a virtual IP for my Kubernetes cluster, and it's a script I want to run on all of my nodes, all my control plane nodes. But I wrote it and compiled it here, composed it here, and I was like, I didn't want to tmux copy it because then you get the extra extraneous spaces and stuff in there. So how can I get it over there without having it have any problem? Well, you just run netcat and set it. We're setting it to UDP just for fun. You could just leave it without that if you want. And then we pass it the IP number of my laptop and the port, and then we give it the file, and then we can we can wait around for that. But when you control C it, it'll actually close the connection down on the other side. Because we're doing UDP, it doesn't close the connection down. If you want to leave that off, it'll do the same thing. Let's try it without UDP really quick, just to show you. Same idea, a little bit less to type. And if you're just doing a simple thing like this, and then you can just control C, and when you feel like it's there, and it will shut down both sides because TCP/IP has this idea of a connection, and then you can actually cat this file or vi this file tempu, and you can see that my script has come over perfectly. And it's completely binary compatible. So that's kind of a cool little technique. But I'm going to end you with this. This was suggested by somebody in our community who is in the security group, in the security land space, and you could do this. You could do this like here and 53, and then run UDP -L, and now you are sending. As long as you put 53 on the other side and you sudo, you're now sending your traffic as DNS traffic. So your packets are completely disguised as DNS traffic, and the port 53 is likely not going to be blocked on any path along the way. You can just use an HTTP server in the source directory. You can also do that. Yeah, you can fire up an HTTP. There's a lot of fun ways to do this. This is basically just all completely in the open, and you don't have Pastebin available, or you don't have eeks.io, which got shut down, which was that was my favorite. And you're not giving any of this data out to any external entity. So it's kind of a cool little way to copy stuff. You got to be careful though if you're doing this in an enterprise environment and your admins find out that you're opening up, you're exposing ports on your login servers. That's like a firing offense. Be careful with that. Make sure you don't do stuff like that. But that's a fun little thing. Make sure you learn about netcat. Netcat is good for all kinds of reasons. You can transfer binary files. And deep packet inspection will absolutely get you. Any Palo Alto router won't allow this. We used to use the trick of like tunneling through SSH ports, port or HTTPS 443. We would set up listener SSH servers on port 443, which is normally HTTPS web traffic, so that board students and their school classrooms could actually log into SkillStack and do their coding. and stuff like that when they were bored in their math class, and that got shut down. As soon as they've got a Palo Alto router, they started detecting the traffic packets were not. They say, "Oh, this is an SSH packet." So packet inspection is getting more common. It used to be expensive to have devices that would do that. School districts didn't have the money, but they do these days. But yeah, so if you try to do this and you try to just send random data over port 53 and there's a Palo Alto router someplace along the line, it'll shut it down. It might even flag you. So, if you do that, take you at your own risk. Bye.